It's a pretty big game for DeMuslim.
It's a huge game for DeMuslim. If he goes 2-0 here, he locks up second place. If he wins 2-1,
he locks up second place as well. But if he wins 2-0, he can even still take first, because then it all depends on what happens between Hero and Dimaga. I mean, between Hero and Hazu, who play tomorrow. And it's not super unlikely that Hazu makes something happen against Hero. Of course, Hero is the favorite. Hero is an absolute super pro tools. But yeah, I've been saying this for a long time, man. I think Hazu's PvP is one of the best in Europe, even though he does get upset every now and then. I think the last EPS qualifier, he lost to Jax. Yeah, I watch those cups in my free time. I do that. But in general, his PvP is really good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. We talk about this almost every time we cast Hasu PvP. He's got some of the best in the world. And it really is comparable to Korean PvP. He beats really, really good players. And he's got a great chance against Hero. I do feel like he does. But now we've got DeMuslim versus Dimaga. This is, as you've already said, a huge game. Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
It was very hard, man. First, I thought Dimaga, because also I think DeMuslim had some problems scheduling this game. And DeMuslim is such a mental player, man. You know this better than anyone as well. If you kept a close eye on DeMuslim, you can see him going from just superstar, almost close to Korean Terran level, to random European Terran, and sometimes you have no idea. Is this really the same DeMuslim that I'm watching? It's just weird how his skill or how his performance goes up and down so incredibly much. And I saw that he had some problems scheduling this match. I was already afraid that he wasn't going into it with the best mindset. This game is not live, by the way, as well, guys. But I don't know. I'm still rooting for DeMuslim. He played such a fantastic season in the NASL, and I think he can make it happen. I know that he's been playing really a lot. He had a very, very unfortunate MLG performance, one of the worst in his history, and that probably doesn't help him too much. But still, I know that he's in good shape. I know that he's playing a lot. I know that he's streaming a lot. He's going to attend the Gigabyte LAN this weekend as well. So I'm still going to root for my boy, DeMuslim.
You know, every week I've bet against DeMuslim, and every week he's proven me wrong. But this time it's DeMuslim against Dimaga. If DeMuslim is your boy, Dimaga is my boy, Kev. I love this guy. I've hung out with him at so many major LANs. I've sat down with him. I've talked to him about his life, both inside and outside of StarCraft. He is an incredible human being. Fact. He's just a great person. And there is nobody that is more passionate about esports, nobody that loves the game of StarCraft more than Dimaga, and I believe that with my entire heart and soul. He's a great guy, and I agree with you that sometimes mentally DeMuslim can defeat himself. And I agree with you that...
I really feel that DeMuslim's biggest opponent is himself.
Yeah, that is so incredibly true, and I agree with you that he had a very tough performance at this recent MLG, and I think that's going to make it very hard for him to take out Dimaga here, so I'm going to take Dima.
I do agree with everything you said about Dima as well, not to make this like a little T-romance, us talking about how much we love each and every player. But yeah, I think Dimaga is a fantastic guy as well, and you know that I've got a sweet spot for him as well, because he's just completely awesome. But Ben, let's not talk about how nice these guys are. Let's take a look at their openings. DeMuslim went for a pretty quick expand. He followed up with really quick double refinery. Now he's already throwing down the factory. Do you think he's going to try to make a starport really quick?
I'm not sure. He's getting a reactor on this barracks, which says he wants to make some Hellions, but he could still throw down a starport. He'll probably swap them out, maybe build a tech lab with the racks, and then swap again. That's one possibility. 4 Hellions for some map control. And then a starport. Starport does go down, so that actually might be what we're going to see. Dimaga has gone for a super economical opening, 3 hatcheries, like ZVP fast.
Yeah, I see that next to the rocks. And now I'm kind of wondering, Ben, do you think that DeMuslim might be able to try to do something with a couple of Hellions in the front and also try to drop Hellions in the main base? Even though he is adding a tech lab right now to this rack, so maybe it's just going to be a Banshee. Maybe Banshee and Hellions, that's more of a standard opening. But yeah, I was thinking of maybe one medevac, but this tech lab kind of gives it away.
Yeah, I think the opening for DeMuslim is still really good. Dimaga's only going to have Queens, and DeMuslim's got a ton of gas. I think he's actually planning on Cloak, Kev. And Cloak Banshee against a Zerg player with limited creep spread and no detection, that's going to be incredibly dangerous. Although he still hasn't started Cloak, so maybe...
But he has the gas for it. He started his first Banshee. Maybe he wants to start a Banshee before Cloak. This is really interesting. Do you think the Dimaga is just going to use this extractor really quick, so whenever he wants, he's going to be on 5 extractors already?
You know, I'm not actually sure. I think he just wants to be able to play a macro game with Terran. Like, the 3 orbital styles become very, very common in high-level TVZ, and... Dimaga trying to keep that drone alive by turning it into a spine crawler. Doesn't quite work out.
The Muslim did end up losing one Hellion, but they took out 2 drones, so I guess you could say that is sort of worth it. And most importantly, Ben, right now he's kind of drawing all the queens to the front because he's showing like, hey, I'm opening reactor Hellions. These are probably not the last Hellions I'm going to make. So Dimaga is like, okay, I'm going to have to be careful, certainly with the drones over here.
Baneling nest for Dimaga, and we know how much he likes his busts. I think that might be what we're seeing, and against Muslim's opening, it could be the most devastating thing Dimaga could ever do.
Worst? Yeah, because the Muslim is going to get very, very late siege tanks. But what is he going to do with this Banshee, Ben? Is he going to bring the Banshees alongside? I don't really get it, the Muslim.
Seriously questioning the Muslim's play. He skipped Cloak as well. He's got all this gas. You know, why are you going to mine this much gas if you're not going to use it? Double eBay may be giving away his intentions. He wants to play the late game with a lot of upgrades. But right now, Dimaga's done a great job of just being safe. He's getting 1-1, and I'm kind of feeling like we're going to see a 1-1 Baneling bust, or even the 2-2 bust that we see with some mutas that Dimaga likes to do.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think the 2-2 bust is what we are going to see over here. Beautiful micro there by the Muslim, Ben. Even though I was questioning the decision of bringing the Banshees alongside the Hellions at the same spot, but hey, it worked out. He killed quite a few drones once more. He killed, well, he only killed the 2 drones he killed, or no, he killed 3 more, and he also killed like 8 Zerglings, so you could say it was decent, and he didn't lose anything yet.
Yeah, I think it was okay. If you look at the income tab, you can see that the Muslim was pretty close, man. 44 to 57.
Once more, he's taking out 5, 6, 7 the Zerglings.
And the queens are also out of position for this Banshee. Although the Muslim is not worrying about the queen, he's just going to try to focus down some drones, and maybe if Dimaga's
Man, the Muslim is playing this pretty flawlessly so far, Ben. He's not losing anything. He's being very, very careful with his Hellions. He's being very careful with the Banshees. Where are these drones going?
Dimaga saw those Hellions. He's doing a really good... Both these guys are actually playing some very high-level StarCraft. Oh, no! Big roast. That was 5 drones stacked up there that all died in a single shot. Finally, the Banelings connect with the Hellions and clean some of those up. Lair is done for Dimaga, and will we see a Spire, or is he just going to go straight to Baneling speed?
I mean, the Muslim killed quite a few drones right there, Ben. Even though Dimaga reacted even way before the Hellions were ever there. There was some 6 spider senses by Dima, because I was wondering where are those drones going, but Dimaga just saw it coming. He knew all the Hellions were there, and he's like, I'm just going to get them out of position. Look at this little bunker here by the Muslim. I like that. And it was good for the Muslim, but I'm still a little bit worried right now. Losing those 5 Hellions kind of gives away all map control, and he really has to know what is going on.
I know exactly what Dimaga's doing right now. This is something that we've seen, and it's a build I've actually discussed with him before, and one that he likes a lot. He's basically saturated 3 bases. He's got 64 drones. He's just going to make a lot of Zerglings. He'll make maybe between 5 and 7 mutas to say, hey, DeMuslim, look, I'm making mutas. And then it's going to be all Zergling Baneling with the rest of his gas and minerals. And that will create a brutal timing. Usually he gets it with +2/+2, but I think this time he's going to skip the 2/2 and just try to get as many units as possible.
But we shouldn't forget, Ben, this is the Muslim, and I think he knows Dimaga pretty well as well. And so far, he's been doing really good. Once more, he's going to pick off 5, 6 drones. Beautiful micro. If you take a look at units lost resource, Ben, Dimaga lost 1,600. The Muslim only 700. The first siege tanks are already starting to roll out. He has a bunker here, a small wall. But if he puts the siege tanks in good positions, I can see this going pretty well for the Muslim.
The real key for DeMuslim is that he's gone up to 3 factories. He's building 2 more factories right now, so he very possibly will have a ton of siege tanks. And if you've got a ton of tanks, this kind of a bust is going to fail pretty miserably. It still all comes down to execution and positioning. Those first 7 mutas are on the way, and Dimaga is getting that 2/2 that we talked about. So I think this is exactly what we're going to see. One more big round of drones, and then I think it's going to be all Zergling Baneling for the rest of the game.
And this might be actually a little bit unfortunate. Just now the Muslim is going to take this expand, and that actually makes him a little bit more vulnerable, because he doesn't just have to worry about this anymore. He's going to have to worry about this base as well. Even though if you survive against this huge bust from Dimaga when it comes, you're going to be okay. But of course, at what cost? If you lose an orbiter, you lose all your SCVs. Dimaga can fall back on something as well. Dimaga is going to spot these 2 Banshees in the middle of the map, and the Muslim can't even be bothered. He knows those are going to fall. So that's a nice victory for Dimaga, but hey, the Muslim at least knows the mutas are on the map.
I'm thinking less and less that it's going to be a big 3-base all-in. As Dimaga goes ahead and throws down a 4th hatch, he's adding more mutas. I think he just wants to play Muta Bane, just kind of standard mid-game. So much for that whole thought. There was a lot of analysis for nothing, basically, as these mutas are going to try to find some openings, but DeMuslim with turrets in good spots and Marines in position.
I really don't like what Dimaga's doing here now, Ben, because he has the money to suddenly make a lot of mutas. So why not wait until you have at least 12 or 40 mutas, so it's something at least sort of scary. Right now he's flying in with a couple of mutas. He's losing so many of them.
Yeah,
he lost
really
6 out of
control.
8 mutalisks that flew to the Muslim space, and what did he kill? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, virtually nothing, you're right. Still, units lost shows that DeMuslim has been twice as effective as Dimaga, and Dimaga's continuing to invest in these mutas. That's a lot of gas that he's committing to these mutalisks. Now, Tal'Darim Ultra is a great mutalisk map, but if we look around DeMuslim's bases, we can see that he is pretty damn safe against them. Marines in really good positions. He's got turrets where he needs them. And even Thor's in production, so that's going to make it even harder for these mutas to be effective. Now Dimaga is getting back into that Zergling production, and he's probably just going to work up to a max, but something that concerns me is that his hive tech has been so delayed by this commitment to the mutas.
Dimaga has been on 82 drones right now. The Muslim is on 69 SCVs and triple orbitals, so both players having super economies. Or does the Muslim already have his 4th orbital, man? Did I miss that? No, right?
I don't see a 4th orbital.
No, it's just 4. Oh, the Muslim's going to have to be careful.
Scans right on top of the banelings. That is
such
such a fortunate scan, and he does kill a few of them. And that's going to at least force Dimaga to abandon that plan for the time being. Upon seeing this, DeMuslim immediately ups the siege tank production, 2-3 tanks at a time. And that's exactly what he needs against this many Banes.
Could the Muslim see that? No, you can't see it. We have a couple of burrowed banelings, Ben, so you're going to have to keep a close eye on those as well. The Muslim is going to stim forward. It's not a big enough group. Okay. Well, so much for keeping a close eye on those bad boys.
Yep, even a glance.
Oh, Ben, banelings are rolling. I think Dimaga is going to try to go for it from behind.
Oh, looks like he will. Tanks are a little bit out of position.
Don't like
and Dimaga should probably disengage from this, but I don't think he's going to. Banelings are going to roll right in, and what do they connect with? Mostly siege tanks. Terrible engagement for Dimaga. DeMuslim with a beautiful fight there on top of the Xel'Naga tower. Goes up to about 50 supply, and Dimaga in big trouble, making 44 Zerglings has nothing back at home. I don't think he can stop this push now.
Yeah, that was really beautiful by the Muslim, no doubt about it. But as you said, Ben, you didn't like it. I definitely didn't like it. Never against around that Xel'Naga watchtower. Certainly not when the units are on the low ground, because you have to go all the way around the corner. It's same like in PvT. With Zealots, you don't want to engage a bio army like that, and you certainly don't want to roll in banelings like that.
You know, a couple good baneling connections, and Dimaga is going to come forward once more, knows that he has to do it, and if he's going to do it, he's going to do it right now, but great splitting by DeMuslim, losing virtually no Marines. Siege tanks doing all the damage. Dimaga trying to scramble and get some units out, but he's only able to produce Zerglings, and DeMuslim has everything that is good against Zerglings.
Nah, DeMuslim played so well in this game. This is starting to feel like a broken record, because this is what we say every single week when we cast him in the NASL band. But he did play very good.
From Dimaga. Why do I ever bet against DeMuslim? I swear, whenever I bet against him, he plays well. So I think I'm his good luck charm.
Yeah, you know, I think that Ben right now is at home hoping, you know, for the rest of the season, just bet against me, Ben. Just please do that. And at the end of the season, if I win that 40K, I'll buy you dinner. That's probably how he's betting.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that one big engagement that Dimaga kind of blundered. He comes in.
You can never engage around the corner of that Xel'Naga.
Yeah, and when he saw the tank siege, he just should have gone straight to the natural.
And he thought about it. You saw for a small split second, the banelings went to the left, and then he's like, nah, I'm going for it, because I'm already taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Would be super awesome. Can we see this one more time, production crew?
You know, it's actually smart that he did that. Like, once you commit to a fight, you have to commit to a fight. So Dimaga, he's a good enough Zerg that he knows, oh, a little rewind action.
Yeah,
that's
that
kind of cool.
Cool. We never did this. Okay, look, Ben, look at the banelings. For a second, he thinks like, oh, shall I go left? And then he's like, nah, I'm just going to try to engage. But it's just, and beautiful splits by the Muslim, of course, no doubt. It was not only a bad engagement by the Demiaga.
Control by the Muslim, allowing those tanks to absorb that damage, keeping the Marines in good places. Excellent, excellent play by the Muslim. I'm sure he's watching this broadcast right now, and he's just like, oh, Mr. Bitter. Why you always got to bet against me, man? I don't know, Muslim. I don't know.
Well, it's not over yet, man.
It's not over yet,
only game one.
There is still hope for my buddy, the Ukrainian.
Ah, the Muslim is buddy too. Everybody's buddy.
Well, I know, but it's Dimaga, man.
Okay. Good.
Dimaga is like my hero. He's my role model.
So I think we're going to head over to a small commercial break. Then we'll be right back in 1 minute or so with Game 2 between Dimaga and the Muslim. So stay tuned and hope you guys have fun.